Hello all and welcome to CAT VARC practice series VARC 100. Let's look at this paragraph summary question. You seemed at first to take no notice of your school fellows, or rather to set yourself against them because they were strangers to you. So author begins by setting the context of discussion, a possible discomfort, a possible hostility, or a possible dislike that you might have felt for your school fellows. They knew as little of you as you did of them. Okay. So both sides knew little of each other because you were strangers. This would have been the reason for their keeping aloof from you as well. So author basically sets the context that it is possible that you and your school fellows had reciprocal feelings of dislike for each other because you were strangers to one another. Okay. Learn never to conceive a prejudice against others because you know nothing of them. At this point, the author starts instructing us. This is an instruction. And therefore, if you look at the thought flow, he first sets the context, introduces the subject, that it is possible that you and your school fellows, did not get along really well initially. You had feelings of dislike for each other. And then he comes to his main point. You should not be prejudiced against others because you know nothing of them. So I can say safely here that this is probably the main idea of the passage, the main point that author has always wanted to arrive at. It is bad reasoning, okay, to have prejudice against others, to have bad feelings for others without any reason because you don't know them well. It is bad reasoning and makes enemies of half the world. So he justifies his point of view, basically. This was his point of view. This is author's point of view. And he justifies his point. Do not think ill of them till they behave ill to you. Same point. And then strive to avoid the faults that you see in them. So this was point number one. Author says, do not be prejudiced against others. Point number two, avoid the faults that you see in them. That way, you will be able to disarm their hostility sooner than by complaining, by showing resentment, or by getting irritated. Peak is irritation. Okay. So the essence of the paragraph is that you should not be prejudiced against others and you should try to avoid the faults that you see in them because it is good strategy. That way you will be able to make them friends sooner than by complaining or getting irritated or having resentment for them. Okay. I want now all of you to look at how I read the answer choices. In paragraph summary questions, guys, it is usually one word in an answer choice which makes it wrong, which makes it incorrect very often. So just observe how I read and how I verify every word of every answer choice. Option one, the discomfort you felt with your school fellows. Did you feel discomfort? Yes, this part is okay. So take a pause after every phrase. The discomfort you felt with your school fellows was because both sides knew little of each other. Yes. You should not complain. Yes. Last part of the passage. Author discourages us from complaining. He says that's a bad strategy. Better strategy is to avoid the faults that you see in them. That way you'll be able to make them friends sooner than by complaining. So indirectly saying, okay, complaint does not help much. You should not complain unless you find others prejudiced against you. Wait, this is distorted slightly. Author never talks about others being prejudiced against us. Rather, he instructs us not to be prejudiced against others. So this part is not found in the passage. Let's read on. And have attempted to carefully analyze the faults that you see in them. Wait, does the author talk about analyzing the faults that you see? He says avoid the faults that you see in them. This option says analyze the fault. Clearly factually incorrect. So this word makes us 100% sure, certain that this is not the correct answer. Option eliminated. Option two, the discomfort you felt with your school fellows was because both sides knew little of each other. Both parts correct. Avoid prejudice. So main idea is captured, main idea is covered. Avoid prejudice, yes. Learn never to conceive a prejudice. And negative thoughts, do not think ill of them. Every part I am verifying from the passage. Till you encounter bad behavior from others, till they behave ill to you. So this is also good. And then win them over. Okay. By shunning the faults you have observed. Shunning the faults, avoid the faults that you see in them. This part is also good. The only part that remains to be verified is this. Win them over. Where does this come from? Last line says, if you avoid the faults that you see in them, if you ignore their errors, their mistakes, their faults, this will disarm their hostility. Disarming someone's hostility for you, if you end someone's hatred for you, you are winning them over as friends. So this part is a paraphrase. This part is a paraphrase of the idea. So if this was the idea, disarm their hatred, end their hatred for you, it is equal to saying win them over. You have won them over. You have been able to make friends of them. Okay. Option 2 should be the correct answer. So let's keep this for the while. Option 3, you encountered hardship amongst your school fellows because you did not know them well. Correct. You should learn to not make enemies. Okay. Because of your prejudices. Okay. Irrespective of their behavior towards you. Now this part, irrespective of their behavior. Passage says, do not think ill of them till they behave ill to you. जब तक तुम्हारे साथ बुरा व्यवहार ना करें, बर्ताव ना करें, तब तक उनके बारे में बुरा मत सोचो. Rather than irrespective of their behavior. वो जैसा भी बर्ताव करें, उनके बारे में बुरा मत सोचो. Is not what the passage says. Therefore, this part is factually incorrect again. The word irrespective is wrong. Option 3 eliminated. Option 4, you encountered hardship amongst your school fellows because you did not know them well. Correct. You should learn to not make enemies because of your prejudices. Okay. Unless they behave badly with you, this is also okay. Till they behave badly, ill to you. So option 4 is also factually correct at least. However, it does not capture the main idea. The main idea was avoid prejudices. Do not conceive a prejudice against others. Option 4 does not mention the idea of not having prejudice against. In fact, the focus shifts to not making enemies, which was not the main idea. You should not be prejudiced against others. It is bad reasoning. And one consequence is making enemies. But you should learn not to make enemies is not the primary focus of the passage. Therefore, option 4 does not have the main idea, number 1. Number 2, a very important point to note. Whenever you're stuck between two answer choices, options 2 and 4 in this case, both seem correct for a para-summary question. Remember, the more comprehensive, the better. An answer choice which covers more points from the passage will be better, given it is factually correct and captures the main idea, of course. So if two answer choices capture the main idea, option 4 in this case does not even capture the main idea, so it is eliminated anyway. But for future references, even if two answer choices capture the main idea, one of them is more comprehensive, it covers more ground from the passage, it covers more points from the passage in a concise manner, it will be better. The more comprehensive, the better. We'll go with that answer. So option 4 is anyway eliminated because option 2 has one extra point. Avoid the faults that you see in them. That point is also captured by option 2. I hope you got this one right, guys. And I hope you learned something from this video. If you did, please hit the like button. I hated to say this, but I have to because you forget to do so on your own. And to make this exercise worth my while, I have to tell you, I have to remind you to like, subscribe, share this video with your friends, spread the word about VRC 100. Until next time, bye-bye. Cheers to learning.